Today, I will demonstrate how to perform productive work in Microsoft 365 using only Fingerprint, without a password or PIN.
Why should we work without a password? Is that secure?
In Microsoft 365, biometric authentication, such as fingerprint authentication via Windows Hello for Business, is considered the gold standard for modern security. This protects your account by replacing a password with a unique, cryptographic, device-bound method. See the other best options besides Windows Hello for Business on the right-hand side. To make such sign-in using Fingerprint available, we have to set an Intune policy. Click on Devices, Windows, Enrollment, Windows Hello for Business. You can set it up here if you are sure that all employees should use it. We will set it up with configuration policies for an Enter group, as this will enable Windows Hello for all users. Click on Devices, Windows, Configuration. Create New Policy. Select Windows 10 and later. Select Settings Catalog. Give it a meaningful name. Next. Add settings. Search for Windows Hello and select it. Select Facial Features. Minimum PIN length and use Windows Hello for Business. Enable facial features and set minimum PIN length to 8. Assign the prepared Enter group with users you want to start with. And create. Delivery of the Intune configuration policy takes some time. To speed this up on your Windows test device, click on Settings, Accounts, Access Work or School, Info, Sync. This will take some time. The next time you log on to Windows 11, you will see the Windows Hello screen. We choose to use Fingerprint instead Face. You will then be prompted to set up a backup PIN. Before this, you will usually be asked to verify your account with MFA. Enter a PIN of at least 8 numbers and you are done. The next time you log on, you will be prompted to use your fingerprint as the default method. Click on Sign-in Options. You can still log on using your email address and password or Windows Hello PIN. For Word and Excel, you may still need a password. In order to log into these apps with a fingerprint, we have to set it in the Enter portal. To get there, type in the browser entra.microsoft.com, then select Authentication Methods. For optimal security, Microsoft Authenticator and Passkey should be enabled. Please do not disable other authentication methods that you may have. Check and enable Microsoft Authenticator settings. These should be set as shown, which are default settings. Check and enable the Passkey, FIDO2, settings. These should be set as shown, which is also the default setting in 2026. We continue with iPhone configuration. Android phone are almost the same. As you can see, we have already installed the Microsoft Authenticator app, which allows us to receive push notifications. To open this page on your desktop, click on your profile in the top right-hand corner, then click on View Account. Or type myaccount.microsoft.com into your browser. Then click on Security Info. On the phone, select the account. Then tap Set up Passwordless Sign-in Requests. Sign in to your Microsoft account. Enter the MFA on your phone and you are done. On the desktop, refresh the page to see the new entry. We continue on the phone and create a passkey. Sign in, and after some seconds, you are done. So, we finished 2 methods that make it possible to sign in with a phone without a password. After refreshing the page on desktop, you see the new entry. Let's see in action the authentication methods on Windows 11 desktop. We log in using Windows Hello Fingerprint. Open, for example, Word. We usually are signed in, so we sign out. Sign in again. Type the email. We can easily sign in with Fingerprint. Sign out one more time and sign in again. We choose a different passkey now. Select in the middle, iPhone, iPad, or Android device. Use the camera app to scan the QR code shown. Then you will see Sign in with a passkey. Tap on it, follow the info on the phone. Signed in. We have demonstrated that it's possible to use Microsoft 365 without a password. Passwordless working has advantages in terms of both security and the user experience. What about the PIN? 1. We use a PIN with Windows Hello and had to set one up. 2. The pre-boot PIN is used to decrypt the BitLocker encryption before Windows starts up. 3. We use a PIN to unlock our phones. We mostly need to set up a PIN as a backup, rather than using it every day. For options 1 and 3, we can replace the PIN with a fingerprint. There is no practicable replacement for option 2. We will clarify whether the startup PIN is relevant to your company. First, I'd like to demonstrate how to use the startup PIN. After entering the correct PIN, Windows will start up and you will see the usual login screen. At this point, the remaining question is whether a startup PIN is actually required. On the yes side, a startup PIN clearly adds security. It protects against offline access if a device is stolen. Since 2021, the German BSI has explicitly recommended the use of a startup PIN for devices classified as high risk or requiring a high level of protection. Some companies here in Germany have implemented it. On the other hand, there are clear drawbacks. A startup PIN adds friction for users. Reboots may be delayed, and as a result some updates or applications may also be delayed. Users may reuse a PIN for multiple devices. There is an increased risk of PIN theft, for example, from a phone. Our recommendation is based on a risk assessment. Use a BitLocker Startup PIN only for high-risk users or devices, such as executives, administrators, and employees with access to sensitive data. For the majority of users, rely on Windows Hello for Business with biometric authentication. This ensures strong authentication while maintaining a high level of user-friendliness. And finally, focus your primary security controls where most attacks actually happen, through zero trust principles and strong conditional access. The simplest way to set up a startup PIN is to integrate the configuration shown in Image 1 into the existing BitLocker policy. Once the setting is in place, users have the option to configure a startup PIN themselves. As shown in Image 2, this can be done by selecting Change how the drive is unlocked at startup. Technically, it is also possible to force the startup PIN prompt to appear after Windows login for users who have not yet configured one, as shown in Image 3. However, enforcing this behavior is significantly more complex. It usually requires multiple PowerShell scripts running in both user and system context. This quickly becomes environment-specific and goes beyond the scope of this session. Working passwordless is not only possible today, it is both secure and user-friendly. Windows Hello for Business and Passkeys allow us to move away from traditional passwords without reducing security. For day-to-day work, no PIN is required for user sign-in. With the exception of startup PINs for high-risk devices, users can rely on biometrics. In practice, fingerprint authentication offers a very good balance between security, reliability, and user experience. At the same time, improving Microsoft 365 security does not stop at the device. The real protection happens through zero trust principles and strong conditional access, controlling identity, device trust, and access to data.